Nashville has a new mayor this morning.
Megan Barry defeating David Fox in one of the city's most contentious and expensive mayor's races we have ever seen. This morning, Music City does have that new female mayor.
Megan Barry took the win last night, securing her spot as the first ever female for Nashville, leading up the city. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres live at Public Square Park for us, and she received, what, 55% of the vote, is that right?
Amy, that's right. That's nearly 61,000 people who came out to vote for her. And really, last night, we saw her already trailing right in front of David Fox, her opponent. And with that momentum, she carried all the way across the finish line in this historic race.
You, the Nashville voters, this one is going to go down in the history books. This one is all about the fact that today you went to the polls and you elected the first woman mayor.
Just after 9 o'clock last night, the thousands of Megan Barry supporters roared with excitement as this long and at times contentious race came to a close. There was so much concern about how voter turnout would impact Barry's chances with an issue at an East Nashville polling place last night. But at the end, it did not matter. The 51-year-old mayor-elect then spent time personally thanking voters at the farmers market. And as you can see and probably hear, she was bombarded by the supporters, told them that her first focus when she takes office will be to hire a new superintendent. Now, News Channel 5 is going to interview Megan Barry this morning. We'll have that interview tonight on News Channel 5 at 6:30. And Inside Politics will also have that interview on News Channel 5 Plus at 7 p.m. We're live in downtown. I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5 HD.
Thank you, Matthew. Barry had a number of big-name supporters in the crowd last night, including former mayoral candidate Howard Gentry. After losing in the general election, the criminal court clerk endorsed Barry. Gentry says her win is something that the city should be proud of.
It's not a big step for Nashville, it's a leap. And anytime that you can come out of a situation like this race turned into and have such a historic ending, it's just huge.
Now, it was obviously not the kind of result that David Fox's campaign was hoping for. Supporters watched the voting numbers roll in at Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery. They stayed very positive, but in the end, they saw that Barry's early lead was simply too much to overcome. She was hanging on to that lead. During his concession speech, David Fox congratulated Barry, and while he says he's disappointed, he would not have done anything differently.
You know, I don't have any regrets. We left it all on the field. We ran a very aggressive campaign. And I couldn't be prouder of you. I couldn't be prouder of our city than I am right now.
As far as his own future plans, Fox was not specific, but he said he is happy to help Megan Barry any way he can if asked. Several Metro Council seats were also on the ballot for you yesterday.
Voters chose a brand new slate of at-large members. John Cooper, brother of Congressman Jim Cooper of Nashville, leads the pack with more than 14.5% of the vote. Joining him will be outgoing District Councilwoman Erica Gilmore, Bob Mendez, Sharon Hurd, and Jim Schulman. You can find all the results and more election coverage on our website, newschannel5.com.
All right, switching gears and some sad news this morning. A 13-year-old girl dies after a bad car crash. The Kentucky New Era took these photos from the scene in Cadiz yesterday. State police say the woman driving the car was turning onto US 68. She pulled out in front of an SUV. 13-year-old Sarah Reddick was killed. Another 13-year-old girl and the driver of the car were seriously injured. The driver of the SUV, though, was not hurt.
A bank robber makes off with a load of cash, and investigators need your help finding him. This is surveillance footage from the Redstone Federal Credit Union in Murfreesboro. The man robbed the bank around noon before running out the back of the building. If you recognize him, call Murfreesboro Crime Stoppers. A man was assaulted at a downtown bar a couple of months ago, but his attacker was caught on camera. Take a look at the surveillance photos because they're looking for the guy now. This was at the Coyote Ugly
bar back in July. Police say during the fight, the man that you're seeing there hit the victim. The victim actually fell and cracked his head on the pavement. He went to the hospital. He's now okay, but they still want to find out who did this. If you can recognize the man, call Crime Stoppers at 615-74-CRIME.
A raid at a towing company ends with a man facing drug charges. Sparta Live reports Justin Wittenberg was arrested after police and FBI agents stormed the Southern Cross Transport tow in White County. We're told a substance that appeared to be meth was found in his pocket. He's now facing possession charges.
There will be major changes for your drive around town again this weekend. The third road closure of the Fast Fix 8 project begins tonight. It's on I-40 from the 65 split, that's west of downtown, to the 40-65 split south of downtown. So we're talking about the Demonbreun and the Broadway and the Church, Charlotte exit, all of those.